Good evening, Jets Nation. Welcome to the Jets Duo Show. We're on episode 10. Absolutely insane. We've made it to episode 10, but we're here, loving it, and this is awesome. So how's it going, Elite Jet? How's it going, man?
Man, can you hear my fan in the background?
No?
Okay, thank God. So I think for me, because I'm getting hot over here. I think for me, I'm at this point where I'm fed up. But I'm fed up and I still believe. I'm both. I'm fed up, still believe. But why should it be any different? This is the Jets. We do this every year. We do this way more than any other teams do it. It's like that's how I'm feeling. What about you?
It's disappointing, of course.
Right.
Obviously, we're wanting, to make the playoffs for the first time in freaking forever.
Yeah.
And whenever you lose the last three, because look, we're starting off 5-2. All the
Yeah.
expectations in the world, we're going to make the playoffs, and then we've done a lot of losing. Unlike the Jags and the Lions, who were making these late season playoff pushes, we were making it a little bit too early. And we were all saying this final stretch of the season is going to be easy for the Jets, but in fact, it was the opposite.
Yeah.
It's just
Complete
insane
opposite.
how, you know, the bets and everything looked before the season, and then now, everyone, Brady Quinn's like, the Jets are going to go 0-9. Everyone's just like, Jets are going to lose a lot of their, first few games. They're going to make a late playoff push towards the end. And it was just a complete opposite. Just insane how everything just kind of boiled down in the end. But the New York
In
Jets
my
did,
mind, we should have won almost every game. In my
right.
mind.
Every
That's
loss
the
was
way
one
this
score.
team. Yeah, but it's the Jets. They're the Jets are their own worst nightmare.
Right.
They're the Jets' worst nightmare to themselves. So you knew it was going to be close. You knew it was going to be close every time, right? So that's just it for me. So this game, this is do or die, man. This is do or die. Like, if we lose this game, it's going to be really hard. We got faced against two really other good teams, Seattle and Dolphins after this.
Right.
So I don't know, man. Uh, let's talk about what you want to talk about first.
All right, so let's go ahead and dig into the Detroit Lions. So, this was a game that both me and you thought the Jets could win. I thought our defense was going to shut down the Lions' high-powered offense, and we did do that. But what I wasn't expecting is the offense to not do the same. Like, I was expecting this offense against a really bad Detroit Lions defense to just go out there, put some points on the board, and make the crowd go crazy, and the New York Jets would win this game. That's what I was expecting was going to happen. I predicted a 24-14 game. Like, I thought the New York Jets were going to beat them by 10 points. And then we lost.
Yeah.
And the defense played fantastic the whole time, the entire time. And then at the very end, 2 minutes left, Jared Goff eclipsed 200 yards with under 2 minutes left to go. And then, we know what happened. Fate happened.
Yeah.
And the Jets,
Yeah.
we made the late push, but Greg Zuerlein missed the kick to go into overtime. And you might blame Greg Zuerlein, you might blame the defense for this loss, but
No.
I'm blaming the offense. I'm
Hell
blaming
yeah.
the offense.
Hell yeah.
Zach Wilson going 18 for 35, 317, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Might be the best game he's played all season, but it
Facts.
wasn't enough.
Wasn't
It
enough.
wasn't good enough against the Detroit Lions defense that allows a lot more yards per game. It just wasn't enough. And sure, he made some beautiful throws. That throw he made to CJ Uzomah across his body, the 41-yard touchdown, or 40-yard touchdown, actually, excuse me, was beautiful. Work
Yeah.
of art. He could
Yeah.
have not put the ball in a more perfect position. But then he also made a lot more worse throws.
Oh my
Miss
goodness.
Braxton Berrios on the last drive of the game, he was wide open. You hit
Facts.
Braxton Berrios, he's going into the red zone, maybe even the end zone. So there was
Facts.
a lot of bad mixed in with a lot of good. And
Facts.
I'm not going to sit here and act like Wilson played bad. I'm not going to sit here and act like he played good. But I'm going to tell you that he was the reason we lost this football game. So what are your thoughts on the Jets' loss to the Detroit Lions?
especially on defense with that 4th and inches. Holy crap! Oh
Yep.
my god! And then the referee, the refs this season, it's like the guy. It's like we had a death wish with them, and not only that, Zach Wilson looked good at times and he looked bad at times, but we couldn't establish the running game. No one can catch the ball again, and it's one of those things where even he can't even put the ball in the guy's hands. But you gotta admit though, this was Zach Wilson's best game so far this season. We saw a little bit of what Zach could do the last 6 games of the season last year, but is he the guy to take us to the playoffs? No, he's not right now. And you know what? I blame half of this on the offensive line. I don't know what the hell is up with Lake and Tomlinson. I don't know what the hell is up with our offensive line, but Zach Wilson did not look good because first off, he's not a pocket quarterback. He likes to scramble a lot. He doesn't stay in the pocket. Flacco can stay in the pocket, but he's got no choice. He's old. He's right there. And then Mike White is better at that. But the thing about Mike White is you could tell what he's doing 100% of the time. When he focuses on someone, he's going to throw it to you, and you get picked off like that. But he doesn't spread it around. But Zach Wilson, though, we couldn't get the running game going. We couldn't get the wide receivers going. I said throw something long, like down deep, and he did do Uzama. What have I been saying this whole year, Jude?
Get
Fucking
Uzama and
throw.
Conklin involved.
Thank you. And get him in the damn red zone. And they finally did it. And then they did this loft. I love Zach Wilson's loft. It wasn't awful. It's just loft. It's just a loft. I love it. I could make that throw. But it's just so funny how these guys are so good in the red zone. Like they are. They're so good in the red zone. And then we finally got them involved. You finally crank one out there. But I think for Zach Wilson, it's just going to come down to, is he going to step up to Trevor Lawrence? Trevor Lawrence has proven why he was the number 1 pick right now. He is proving that. Justin Jefferson is proving why he should be the number 2 pick right now, right? Zach Wilson is just not the guy right now, and that's okay. I think he's got all the talent in the world, but when you can't establish all these things around you, and not only if you can't show up at those right times, it's going to be ugly for you. And it was 50-50, man. It's frustrating to watch.
And it really is, man. This is game. The Jets, I'm not going to necessarily say we needed a win, but I mean, it would have helped us out a lot when it comes to these playoff implications. Because the
Yeah.
Patriots lost last week, the Dolphins lost last week, even the Ravens lost last week, which could
I know.
potentially get us into playoffs. If Baltimore loses the rest of the games, we went out, we make it into the playoffs over the Baltimore Ravens. Like
Right.
winning out or
To
winning
the
this game
wild
against
card, yeah. Yeah.
right. Like, I mean, winning this game against the Detroit Lions would have been so huge for the New York Jets in terms of playoff implications. Now we essentially have to win out if we want to make it to the playoffs. We could sneak in at 9-8, but I mean, it's going to be tough. 10-7 is a sweet spot, and if the New York Jets can't win out, if we can't win this game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, I mean, things could get ugly when it comes to playoffs. But as I mentioned, of course, actually, before we talk about the Jaguars game, let's go ahead and get all the line stuff off. Sauce Gardner was not targeted a single time against the Detroit Lions, which is absolutely insane. I mean, this is the 4th most. I mean, okay, played 38 coverage snaps in this
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
wasn't targeted a single time.
Yeah.
4th most coverage snaps by a player since 2017. I guess since Connection
Right.
Stats started tracking everything, and I guess since they were created. I mean, that's insane.
Hey, I
38
saw
coverage
this all
snaps not
coming.
getting covered.
I saw this
Right.
all coming. I knew he was going to be an impact player right away. People thought I was crazy, but hey, look, what is he doing, man? What's he doing? He's doing
He's
everything.
balling out.
He's doing everything. He's a mixture of Sherman and Revis, but I just want to say he's just Sauce Gardner. But he is a
Right.
mixture of those guys, though.
And Sauce Gardner, he's without a doubt going to make it to the Pro Bowl. He's without a doubt going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Mm.
But there's a great chance he makes it to the All-Pro team. which would be the first time a rookie
Mm,
cornerback has made it to the All Pro team since Ronnie Lott did it back in 1981.
yeah,
It's been forever.
yeah,
So if Sauce Gardner can win Rookie of the, not Rookie of the Year, make it to the All Pro team as a first team All Pro, I mean, that's just insane. So Sauce Gardner just has been fantastic for the New York Jets this season. But in the Detroit Lions game, the New York Jets got a little banged up. And moving
yeah,
on to the injury side of things, of course, we saw not only Denzel Mims but Jeff Smith both suffer injuries in this game, and
yep.
both are not going to be playing this week,
That is
which is
true.
killer.
Yeah, Corey Davis is back though, so that's
Right,
good.
that is good.
But
Aaron,
Q is questionable. Bam Knight's questionable. Lamarcus Joyner's questionable. But Brandon Eccles is out. Mims is out. Mike White's out. And Jeff Smith is out. This is not good. I'm just gonna put it out there. They have injuries of their own though, including Trevor Lawrence. Walker's not playing.
right.
Foley's not playing. Former Jet. And one of their good offensive linemen's not playing. But they have a lot of questionable guys as well. So this is gonna might be an even game, a little bit of an even game. I'm not gonna say fully, but man, anything could happen now. But I'm still, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Quentin Williams. He's questionable. All the beat reporters are saying he's trending towards plan. The Jets have been doing walkthroughs all week, but
Right,
Quentin Williams in the simulated walkthrough, as the reporters are saying,
right,
was going to be a full participant in practice today, which is obviously good news to hear. I mean, Quentin Williams, full participant. That's awesome. And every single player that's questionable, except for Lamarcus Joyner, was a full participant in practice today as well.
right,
So it looks
right.
like those guys are trending towards playing, which is obviously huge for the New York Jets in terms of injuries. And I mean, if the New York Jets are able to get Quentin Williams back, that just opens the door for this entire pass rush because the Detroit Lions had a great offensive line last week. I wasn't expecting a whole lot of sacks, but the Jacksonville Jaguars, while people might not think it, do have a really good offensive line. They've only
They
allowed
do.
24 sacks this season. They are going to be without their starting left tackle, Cam Robinson, Trevor Lawrence's blindside protector. So that's going to
And
be
Brand Chief is questionable.
right. He's questionable too, and he's been a big player on their offensive line. He's, the captain of that offensive line. I mean, he's a really good player.
Right,
So with, if he for some reason doesn't play, because normally, when players are questionable, they probably play. But if he doesn't play, Cam Robinson's obviously not going to be playing. I mean, the Jets' defense line could definitely make some noise with Quentin Williams being back. But it's just going to be interesting to see what the Jets, how these injuries impact us a lot because, we're going to be weak at the receiver position today. We're going to have two practice squad receivers most likely elevated to the active roster or maybe
yeah,
even one, but we're going to have a practice squad guy out there on the field. I mean, it's the injuries aren't the best, but at least the New York Jets are getting back Corey Davis. Mims and
yeah,
Smith really don't play a whole lot anyway. But
yeah,
it's just interesting how all these injuries are going to play, and could they potentially factor in the New York Jets' performance on Thursday? So used to saying
I
Sunday, we
mean,
haven't
right.
played a primetime game all year.
Yeah,
But
I
what do you
love
think,
it.
man?
I love prime time. It's one of
Me
my
too, man.
favorite things. Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night football. I love it. I hate playing at noon. I'm not gonna lie to you. At noon or 1 o'clock, wherever you're at in the world. I mean, it does free up my space for nighttime, with my wife. But um, overall, I I love the weather's gonna be interesting. It's gonna snow. It's gonna rain. You never know with weather though. Overall, over here we're talking about getting 4 to 8 inches over here, so
Wow,
of snow. So it's just you just never know. But for me, you have to. We don't really do good on prime time. We don't really do good on prime time.
we
So
don't.
it's just one of those things where it's exciting. It's playoff time. It's do or die. Could this be a Thursday night miracle game? I have no
Who
idea.
knows?
Who knows? But this is just going to be it's just going to be really interesting to see what happens. I mean, things have to fall into play. We have to look at the injury report hardcore tomorrow, and we got to establish the running game. Okay, listen, this is just me. Did you see what Zach Wilson gave him today? Gave the offensive line today?
Them little scooters.
Yeah, they don't deserve it. They don't fucking deserve it.
I mean, their performance definitely has
No. That's a
not been
very
worthy
nice
of it.
gesture. It's a very
Oh
nice
yeah,
gesture.
and
I
maybe
love
this
the
inspires
gesture.
them to play better too, which
Maybe.
hopefully.
Maybe. Um, in the first half, I would have said, "Here, yeah, have them, have these, go for it." Lately, no, they don't deserve it. They
Mm.
don't fucking deserve it. They don't fucking deserve these mopeds. They've been awful. Some of them have been good, some of them have been bad. Like, but overall, I think half of them deserve it, half of them don't. I think, right? So I'm not going to
Right.
say they don't completely deserve it because that's your main force, but I think it's a half and half. I just find it funny how Zach Wilson giving it to them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so if I get any hate on this, sorry, but overall, I think it's just going to be interesting on how they do it. We establish a lot of things, and Gardner's going to be a big key.
Right. And you mentioned the New York Jets aren't really that good on prime time. The last prime time win we've had was
Exactly.
2018 against the Detroit Lions, Sam Darnold's first ever game.
Yeah.
That's the last prime time win the New York Jets have had. I mean, to be fair, we haven't really played a lot of primetime games over the
Yeah.
past few years, so there hasn't been as
Yeah.
many opportunities to win.
Right.
But still, primetime wins are scarce in New York. And I mean, whether or not the Jets can win on prime time against the Jaguars is just going to be interesting because this game has a lot of playoff implications. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the New York Jets to win. I mean, Robert Saleh said it in his press conference. He said, we're going to have to win out. Now, I mean, if we don't win out, we can still get into the playoffs. But the most likely route we get into the playoffs is by winning out. That essentially guarantees us a spot in the playoffs. And hopefully the New York Jets can win out. I mean, if we can, that would be absolutely huge.
Yeah.
But it all starts right here on this prime time football game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I mean, I don't know if the New York Jets are going to be able to do that. Like, I really don't. Because the Jaguars are the hottest team in the AFC right now. They're scorching hot. Trevor Lawrence has been playing out of his mind as of late. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is playing absolutely fantastic. I mean, as you said, he's proven why he was the number one overall pick. He's proven why everyone said this dude was a generational talented quarterback. Like, Trevor Lawrence has just looked legit these past 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
I mean, well, I do think this Jets defense is going to do a good job of bringing him back down to earth because we've done that to every single quarterback this season.
Seems
We did
like
it
it,
to
yeah.
Josh Allen
Yeah.
twice. We did it to Kirk Cousins. I mean, you can even say we did it to Jared Goff. I know the numbers say 252, one touchdown, but he didn't have over 200 passing yards until the very end of that game when, of course, fate did happen for the New York Jets. But still, I think the Jets are going to be able to cool down Trevor Lawrence in their offense. It's just I don't trust Zach Wilson and the rest of this Jets offense to go out against a bad defense and just put points on the board because we didn't do it last
Shit.
week against the Detroit Lions. Like everyone can say, well, yeah, we didn't do it against the Bills or we didn't do it against, yada, 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 another team because their defense is good. Well, we couldn't do it against the Detroit Lions, who are one of the worst defenses in the NFL, with Zach Wilson as quarterback. So and the Jaguars and the Lions are pretty much the same exact team as well, just in two different conferences. That's the only difference they have, and of course, the rosters. So it's just I don't necessarily know if I trust Zach Wilson in this inconsistent run game
Yeah. Yeah.
to get a win this week. And I really do think the New York Jets are going to lose on prime time. I mean, I hate to be a Debbie Downer or what a Debbie Doubter, but it's just what I'm feeling. I mean, it's just the truth, and I don't want to sit here and lie and act like the Jets are going to win. I mean, it's
Mm.
just I don't want to do that. So sadly, I do think the New York Jets are going to continue our dreadful primetime losing streak. But closing thoughts, man. If you got one last thing to say, let's go ahead and say it. Or about the Jets, but we'll get to socials later.
I think for me, we got to establish the running game. Establish running game. You got to protect Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's got to be more accurate. He's got to be consistent in that. He showed some flashes, but you got to be consistent. Got to establish the running game. Got to establish the O line. And what we haven't been talking about is Salah's time management.
Oh, that's right. I just flew right past me. I didn't even think about
Salah's
talking
time
about
management, the timeouts, the challenges. That's got to be better too. It's all got to be better. Everything's got to be better. If you want to go to the playoffs, you want to win this game, because you have potential to get Mike White back next week. You got to win this game. Okay, you got to win this game. You can't. You you got to be better. You just got to be better. This the overall the Jaguars, even though they do got some injuries, but they have proven why that they're be here. They have bought into what Peterson's doing. He's a Super Bowl champion coach. And I find it so funny how Nick Foles is going to start for Indy now. Like that's hilarious to me. And I wish him the best of luck. I know it's not what we're talking about, but I'm just going, what he's done. But for
Right.
me, Salah's got to be better. LaFleur's got to be better. Olbrook's got to be. They all got to be better. You got to be perfect now. You can make some mistakes, but people are going to capitalize on your mistakes now. This is not just like, oh, we can lose this game. No, we can't lose. We can't lose. If you lose against this kind of stuff, it's just going to be interesting. It's just going to be interesting. I hope we continue to just skyrocket, but I think we're going to lose 25-20. Jacksonville. Hey, what's up, Buffalo? A pair of dudes. What's up, man? Jets Duo show. Good to see
How's
you,
it
man.
going, man? How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, I'm just not really feeling the Jets win, But if I were to close on something, talking about Salah's time management, that completely blew past me. I don't know how I didn't even think about talking about that. But the thing with the Jets, or not the Jets, the Jaguars, big thing with Jacksonville is they pulled off a lot of crazy comebacks this season. I mean,
Yeah,
they
true.
pulled off a lot of comebacks. Last week against the Cowboys, 27-10. They were down 17-0 against the Raiders a few weeks back. The Jaguars, their offense really gets going in these clutch situations. So the Jets' defense, which has been fantastic in the fourth quarter and really the second half all season long, is just going to have to do a good job of stopping the Jaguars if we were to get ahead. I don't think the Jets are going to get ahead, but if it were to happen, hopefully the New York Jets don't do that. Hopefully we can just keep the Jaguars in check. If
Yeah.
we were to get a big lead, because blowing the lead would absolutely be terrible. But that's gonna do it for today's show. I want to thank you for joining me, Italy Jet, and of course, if you got any social medias to plug, now's the time to do it.
So I'm gonna go with I am Italy Jet on all social media platforms. Everything MYJ on all social media platforms. I'm constantly doing content with soccer and with football, but it's football and football. Let's be honest. Uh, I'm constantly doing that. On the NR hour sometimes, and I'm also doing other stuff as well. Let's talk sports here with Jude. Yeah, everything's looking up, but man, let's just get this winter, man. Let's just get this winter. I'm excited. This is my I got 6 podcasts tonight, so it's gonna be great, man. Back to back to back to back. Let's go.
Wow,
Jude, what about
you're a
you?
busy man
I am
tonight.
a busy man tonight.
Uh, you can find me on @Jude_Jets on Instagram and Twitter. Of course, the social medias are right here and they're linked down below. But @Jude_Jets Instagram and Twitter. This is of course my YouTube channel. Want to see more of my content? Just gotta scroll down a little bit. Then on Let's Talk Sports. I'm on Let's Talk Sports a lot. Didn't do my Thursday, or not my Thursday, my Tuesday show with Calvin from Dynasty After Dark this week, where we kind of talk about fantasy recaps. And as fantasy season is kind of starting to come to a close,
Yeah.
probably not going to do that show as much, just because, he is talking about fantasy a lot from the dynasty side of things, but as a redraft guy, I don't really know a whole lot about dynasty. So that show's probably not going to be getting kicking as much, but we'll just have to see what happens. And then of course Wednesday we did the Let's Talk Jets show with me, Italy Jet, and Paul Cowie over on Let's Talk Sports. Did that, 30 minutes ago. And then we also got this show, of course, on Thursday, along with the Thursday Night Football preview show, which Italy Jet is going to be hopping on tomorrow for the Jets and Jaguars game. Also got a Jags fan coming on as well. Going to be fun. But that's going to do it for today's show. And we will see you guys next week, and hoping and praying for a New York Jets win. That'll do it. Peace.